Friends, today we will learn how to take corneal scrapings and do KOH mount for detection of fungus. I fondly call it a $1 million test. Let's see why. Infectious keratitis happens worldwide, but it's very common in our country. Proper diagnosis of causative agent requires an extensive microbiological workup, which is available in few tertiary centers only. Mostly, infectious keratitis is treated on empirical basis. It works very well when causative agent is bacteria because most of antibiotics are bactericidal and have good spectrum. Unfortunately, in our country, fungal keratitis is very common. Though we don't have data at primary and secondary level, but tertiary centers report a very high prevalence. Still, our approach towards ulcer is not fungus oriented. We treat it on empirical basis where diagnosis of fungal keratitis is made on clinical judgment only and a cocktail of antibiotics and antifungals is prescribed. Is it an effective approach? It may work in cases where clinical picture is almost pathognomic, like pigmented plaques. But it may not happen always. Let's see these three scenarios. Clinical picture in these three scenarios appears very similar. But in reality, each clinical scenario is caused by very different organism. Even fellowship-trained cornea specialists missed fungal diagnosis in 38% of cases. So it's pretty obvious that general ophthalmologists are misdiagnosing many cases of fungal keratitis. As discussed earlier, we don't have access to extensive microbiological workup and cannot check for every organism. But a very easy and simple test can help in detection of fungus in most of the cases. And for this, corneal scraping is the first step. For this, we put Parakin eye drops and we scrape the ulcer with 15 number blade. We use the curved D part and not the tip of the blade. Ulcer is scraped to get enough material. If there is any slough, that should be removed first and then scraping is done. It is very essential to make the patient comfortable about the procedure. I use a spare 15 number blade and demonstrate the procedure on back of hand. It makes the patient understand that it's not at all a painful procedure. Another thing which is very helpful is the use of diffuser because most of these patients are very photophobic. Those of us who are not comfortable on slit lamp can do this procedure by making the patient supine and then doing it. Once we have taken the material, then we take a clean glass slide and we place the material over it. We do not spread it too much as we do it for gram stain. Once we have done it, then we put 1 drop of KOH solution over material. We should avoid putting too much of solution as it can flush away the material itself. Then a cover slip is brought into contact with this drop so that solution spreads evenly and then cover slip is gently dropped. This slide is then sent to a lab. I have a competent pathologist at my center. Those who don't have access to such a person can learn to identify fungus on their own too. For this, we need not to buy a very expensive microscope. A simple uniocular microscope which costs around 10-12,000 rupees works well. It must have a 10x and a 40x eyepiece. 10x is used first to identify the location of material on the slide. Once it's done, then it is seen under 40x eyepiece. Fungal hyphae are transparent thin filaments seen against a transparent background, just as we see the ribbons of visco in the anterior chamber. Most of ocular infections are by septate fungus. That's why these resemble miniature bamboo shoots. Branching can be seen in many times. To improve visualization of hyphae, microscope light should be dim and the position of condenser should be low. We can easily appreciate that same KOH slide when seen in low illumination and low condenser position offers better contrast and hyphae morphology is visualized in a better way. Sometimes fungus is sparse. However, with experience, we can pick these two if we scan the entire slide under appropriate microscope settings. Preparing KOH 10% is very easy. A half kg bottle costs only 600 rupees and we need only half gram to prepare 5 ml solution. It's very important to use sterile container and sterile Glycerol. The solution can last long, but it's best to make it fresh after every 2 weeks to avoid contamination. Recurring cost of this test is only 10 rupees. If general ophthalmologists incorporate it into their practice, this test has the potential to save millions of rupees spent by our ulcer patients. No doubt, just like any other test, it has its limitations too, but benefits far outweigh them. And I hope that general ophthalmologists incorporate this test into their routine clinical practice. I would like to thank my teachers at LVPI Hyderabad and my colleague pathologist.